Hey, hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another game review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing Spec Ops: The Line, and as usual I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this game to tell you in short what the game is all about. Then I'm gonna share my own opinions and thoughts about this game, so in case you didn't play it, one big spoiler alert across the screen, and yeah, just click away from this video to avoid spoilers and come back after you play a game if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally okay. But if you really are interested in my opinions and thoughts about this game right now, then stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. Alright guys, Spec Ops: The Line. It's a third-person shooter released all the way back in 2012, which was, believe it or not, 8 years ago. This game was developed by Jaeger Development and it was published by 2K Games. It was developed in Unreal Engine 3, and this game was actually based on a book called A Heart of Darkness. I never read the book, but basically book talks about how there is always a room in every human heart for evil. So each of us has room in their heart for evil and doing evil things. So that's why the book is called Heart of Darkness, and I would totally recommend you to check a book out if you are a fan of books, and if you like reading, check a book out. You're not gonna regret it. I heard fantastic things about it. I'm not the person for books, but that doesn't mean that you are not as well, so check it out if you want. Now, a story of Spec Ops: The Line follows the Captain Walker, which is a character you play with, and his teammates, and they're called Delta Squad in this game, and they're sent to Dubai to locate survivors after the Dubai was hit by a sandstorm that completely destroyed entire Dubai. And they were sent to Dubai to also find out what happened to 33rd Brigade that was led by General Conrad. And when they arrive to Dubai, they find out that Dubai is tearing itself apart, people are killing each other. They figure out that 33rd's gone rogue, they're killing civilians, they're committing terrible war crimes, and Captain Walker and his team are now on the mission to extract those survivors, and they're fighting 33rd through the entire game. And that's in short what the story of this game is all about. But that's not where the story ends. Through the game, you realize that a lot of weird things is going on. Your character is constantly having hallucinations, and there is a bunch of weird crap going on. And when you actually reach the end of the game, you actually realize that that whole mission about Dubai and all these things that happened that you played in the game are actually just inside his head, and all of these war crimes were actually committed by the character you play with. That's why this game is based on a book, Heart of Darkness. So book tells us the story about evil humans and how there is always room for darkness in their hearts, and it's exactly same thing with the Captain Walker you play with in this game. He's a character who is really evil. You play literally as an evilest person in the world. He committed all these war crimes. He killed 47 innocent civilians. More correctly, he burned them to death with white phosphor by firing mortar shells, and he just cannot accept the guilt through the entire game. He's the character that just cannot accept the guilt for what he did, and he's constantly trying to tell you through the game that he is a good guy. He's trying to convince his team and himself that he's a good guy, that General Conrad is the one behind all that, that 33rd gone rogue, but none of that is true. It's all just his evil mind and his thirst for killing innocent people. And the story in this game left me so speechless. This game is so depressing. Its story, it's really depressive. And the end of the game, when you actually realize all that, because through the entire game you just really think that what's going on is real, and that all these characters are real, and that whatever happens is really real, and that General Conrad is the main bad guy. But as you come closer to the end of a game, you start to see these hallucinations, all these weird events that happen through the game, and you just realize that all that is just inside that person's head, inside the Walker's head. And honestly, I didn't even completely get the story. The game of this story really leaves you with an open mind. There is a lot to talk about. There is one huge psychological analysis. There's a bunch of things that could be analyzed after playing this game. I think this game is really good for everyone to play, no matter the violence, the shooting, the type of the game. It doesn't matter, because if it's shooter or third person shooter or whatever, I think everyone should sit and play this game. And I think you should put a person next to you playing that game and just see what choices are they gonna make through the game, because this game and its gameplay offers you different choices. I'll talk about that later. And you just want to see what choice people are gonna make, because this game really relieves the evil in humans. Like, when you play this game and when you do things, you just really see what kind of a person deep inside you are. And this is one great test to see if someone is actually an evil person or not. So you can really test it with this game. The story and the design of the story and how everything was set up and thought out, how scenario was written, is so great, to the point where you just don't realize that. I just really loved that element of surprise, where you just don't realize that all that is actually not really happening until you reach actually the end of a game. I think this is probably, actually I'm pretty sure that this is one of the best storytelling games I ever played, no matter how old it is. This game is 8 years old, and I'm so ashamed that I didn't play it before. I honestly grabbed this game on Steam for free. It was being given away for free on Steam, and I grabbed it. I recently played it, and I'm just amazed by this game's story and storytelling, story writing, characters, everything. This game has really good story, and there is a lot of psychological analysis done after playing this game. Everyone, I think, is gonna find something about this game. Everybody is gonna have their own theory or something. There is so many different theories on the internet about this game's story and what really happened in the end. There is a lot of people who actually say that Conrad might actually be Walker, that he was just justifying his evilness with like trying to be a hero, but he's actually not. He's an evil person. There is huge psychological analysis about this game, even 8 years after people still talk about it, and there is really good a reason for it. So I'm so glad that I played this game, and this game actually kind of makes me want to read the book Heart of Darkness. So once again, this game was based on a book, and if you like reading, I totally recommend you to check out Heart of Darkness. I think you can learn from that book a lot. This game is really emotional, and when you realize how fucked up the game actually is, you actually want to cry. You really feel bad for the character and all that. The story is just pure 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Alright guys, let's now talk about a little bit less interesting part of this game, and that is its gameplay. Why I say less interesting? Well, it's because it really is less interesting. I think the most interesting thing about this game is its story and its scenario. So gameplay in this game, it really feels weird, you know, shooting feels really weird. It doesn't feel realistic at all. Guns almost don't have any recoil. You can shoot and land all of your bullets exactly where you want. Combat is based on running around, taking cover, shooting your enemies, throwing frags, flash grenades, sticky bombs, whatever you can find, and it's just simply linear game. You have levels that you go through, and that's it. It's the most basic third-person shooter. There is nothing special about its gameplay or whatever. I mean, once again, this game was released 8 years ago, but I can for sure say that there was a lot of better games. They're like third-person shooters back in that time, and that definitely felt better than this game. So gameplay in this game is definitely something this game can't say that it's good compared to other games back in that time, because it's not really good. It's actually pretty terrible in my opinion. Game also has co-op that I didn't try out. Co-op missions are played from the perspective of insurgents that you kill in the main story or whatever, but I didn't play co-op because servers are dead, so you can play this game only if you have a friend or someone to play it with. Same thing is with the multiplayer. Multiplayer has a few different game modes that you can play. Also, I didn't try it out. Servers are also dead. I couldn't find anyone to play with. Again, you need a friend or someone to play this game with. Then there are classes, gear. You can customize a bunch of stuff, skins for your character, all these kind of things. But I didn't, like I said, really get into it because I couldn't. There's just no servers, you can't play it, so I can't show you a multiplayer footage over here or whatever. What I liked about Spec Ops The Line is the way the violence is showed through the game. That's something, for example, I really loved about this game. So there is a lot of violence as you go through the game and in the gameplay, and it really shows the horrors of war, and it really fits perfectly with the story and the character and everything that's going on. I also like how you can use environment in your advantage in this game. Sometimes you'll have like sand behind the glass, and then you can shoot the glass and the sand will just drop on your enemies, or it will drop down, and then you can climb over it to get to the other part of the level. So that was pretty interesting. Also, there is a bunch of weapons in this game, and each of the weapons either have different attachments like scopes or for example grenade launchers that you can fire from, or some weapons have different fire modes. For example, AK has full auto and burst mode, and you have different attachments on different guns. You can put suppressor on your M4, on your pistol. Then you have Desert Eagle that you cannot hold any attachments, but it's a one-shot weapon like a Magnum as well. There is really big variety of weapons, and you have a lot of weapons to choose from. I can say that this game has really interesting my menu design as well. That's something I was really surprised to see in this game. I don't know, but in some games I just really love to talk about my menu. I think it looks really cool when you click something on the my menu and it just camera just goes somewhere else in the my menu, and it's all like 3D modeled and stuff. You can see the things you've collected like an intel through the game, and all the things you connected are physically gonna be in the my menu, and you can read about them, listen about them. So my menu design is really well done in this game, and as you go through the levels in this game, my menu will change just like the character in the game. Your character will get injured, and his clothes are gonna be ripped, he's gonna be bloody as you come closer to the end of a game. So it also fits nicely with the story. That's also one really cool detail I liked about this game. There are also executions in this game. Execution is basically just you come to your enemy and press a button, and your character will do a cool animation where he executes the enemy when enemy is bleeding on the ground. So that's also another thing that fits the gameplay with the story, because your character is just really sick and evil person who just loves to kill people because he likes doing it simply. This game again doesn't have a stealth, but there are some little stealthy parts. For example, when enemies are shooting at other people and you come from behind of them, they don't realize you're there. You can equip suppressor and you can crouch and move slowly and just shoot them one by one from behind. But there is not a lot of these moments in this game. I kind of wish this game could actually have a nice stealth system where you can actually take out enemies from behind and stealth kill them and all that kind of stuff. It would be better, but again, this game doesn't really have a good gameplay. Like I said earlier, it doesn't offer a lot, but it's not completely bad either. I also forgot to mention that you can make different choices through this game. That's something I said that I'm gonna talk about later. So you can make a bunch of different choices in this game, but the game will never tell you that you can make those choices. You have to listen to what characters and people are talking about in this game, and then by that you need to realize, oh, okay, now it's a time to make a choice. And each time you make a choice, it actually doesn't affect the gameplay. The outcome and the ending is gonna be the same. Again, you're gonna be left with the same choice at the end of a game. But what's interesting about making these choices is it relieves the player's personality. So that's why I say that this game is really interesting to watch someone else play. You know, it's really interesting to watch someone else play this game because of these choices. I really wonder what choices other people made. And if you have a friend or someone and you want to know more about his personality, or if you are trying to meet someone more as a person, give him this game and just let him play this game and see what choices are they gonna make. For example, there is a choice when there is one guy trapped under the truck, and you can either shoot him in the head or you can just leave him to burn. And that's not gonna affect the story or whatever, it's just gonna reveal the player's personality. Then there is also a choice when there are two people hanging from a bridge, and you have to decide which one of them to shoot. One stole water and the other one killed 5 people because he made a mistake, and by mistake he killed this other guy's who stole water family. And now you have a choice to shoot the guy who killed 5 people or to shoot a guy that stole water. And again, if you make this choice, it's not gonna affect the story or the game in any way. It's just gonna tell other people about you. It's gonna relieve your personality. So this game is one great personality test with those choices, and that's what I really appreciated and loved about this game. Alright, now for the end, let's talk about graphics and visual design and optimization of this game. Again, this game is 8 years old. It was released all the way back in 2012, and this game, it doesn't look bad, but it definitely doesn't look good either. It's something in the middle, in my opinion. I definitely seen better looking games back in 2012, but what's good about that is because you can run this game on all ultra settings in 60 or even more FPS on pretty much any computer. I ran this game on all ultra settings, and I had more than 60 FPS. I had about 80-90 FPS constantly, and there is no frame drops, there is barely any glitches, bugs or whatever. This game is perfectly optimized, works perfectly. And these are my PC specs. My GPU is RX 560 4GB DDR5 AMD, of course. Then my CPU is also AMD FX 8320 Black Edition octa-core 3.50 GHz, and my RAM memory is Kingston Fury, also Black Edition, 16 GB DDR4. So these are my PC specs. I ran this game also at 1080p resolution, and like I said, I had about 80-90 frames at all ultra settings, and the game works nice, but once again, it doesn't look really good or satisfying. So if you're looking for a really good and stunning looking graphics in this game, you're not gonna get that in this game. So yeah, just take a note of that. But I think graphics and visual design and stuff like that is definitely the least important thing in a game like this. I think this game is the story-oriented third-person shooter, and that's what it was for me, and that's my opinion about it. And yeah, I think I said everything I wanted about this game. This game was, wow, it was fucking awesome, man. I'm so sad that I didn't play this game earlier, and so sad that I didn't have it back in 2012 when maybe co-op and multiplayer was a thing. I wish I could have tried that out as well. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this game review. If you did, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally fine. Also, you can join my Chris Facebook group. I post all kind of stuff over there. Link is down below in the description. Also, you can join if you want to. If you don't want to, once again, you don't have to. It's totally okay. And you can leave any questions if you have any questions on my ask.fm. Link is once again down below in the description. So yeah, I'll answer to those questions as soon as I see them. And yeah, guys, I love you. Thank you for watching. I'll definitely see you in the next videos, and I appreciate all of your support and everything you've done for me and my channel so far. You're amazing. And yeah, Chris out.